You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything, unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't. Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it. The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature, and when they do, everything will come crashing down. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. I guess we'll just have to see what happens, but a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies, and the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her, see how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table, the blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stair.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains? Okay. Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating?
Would everything feel right about you if you were locked away in a hole by yourself for as long as you can remember?
Just how long has she been down here?
So, did they tell you why I'm supposed to be so dangerous? I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that. And I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about... That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Thank you. You turn back to the stairs.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip
these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get... She has to be bluffing, but... Hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay. If we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save, after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm. Its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger? Oh, you
No. Why don't you come close?
This is a dangerous play. Who's to say she doesn't have a weapon and she's missing an arm? You close the basement door. Lock it. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have... You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of... As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to...
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by... You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting it. No.
Losing an arm is actually enough to do me in. I can always find another. I'm not as frail as you think.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up again. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The rocket. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end. Don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her. her warning. She will lie, she will cheat.
I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last.
It doesn't matter. The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine... The blade is your implement. Hold on. What happened to the door?
It's just an empty...
She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eye? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting... So deep breath in, deep breath out. You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. Good. Steel can't...
Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something... I don't know. Better than a knife?
The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable... Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to what? You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a... Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else.
You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan.
Finally, a voice of reason. You know why I'm being a pessimist. I'm just asking questions. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not.
We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
Please stop saying that. You're only...
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
You decide it's best to do nothing.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
As your blood begins to coagulate, it's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want... You have seconds left.
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart, lungs. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hand. Nerves, heart, lungs, liver. Nerves, heart, lungs, liver. Nerves, heart, lungs, liver. Nerves, heart, lungs.
Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
Princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you die, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerve. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. Shit, make her stop. Hey, snap out of it. Okay, deep breath, we're fine. Heart, lungs, liver, you're back. Lungs, liver,
One moment,
heart,
and then you're
lungs,
gone.
liver, nerves,
Just
heart,
like
lungs, liver,
that. Ah,
heart,
and
lungs,
there's the
liver.
fear.
She pulls away. Lungs,
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it?
lungs,
I've
liver,
already done that.
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, 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 nerves. Your will concentrates into a single fine point, and you strike out against the princess, ignoring she doesn't even move as the blade sinks into her heart.
We did it. We actually did it.
You actually went for it! Oh, you're going to regret this? I could be so much more terrible for you than I am now!
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Can she?
We've already seen how she can change.
You're not getting those stairs back. I'll see you when you finally decide to die.
She falls to the ground. Oh. I can.
And now that she's gone, you can let us out of here.
But she was the one who controlled this place, wasn't she? And now she's dead. I don't like it. Means that you're stuck here. Forever.
Oh no. Oh,
Time passes.
Forever's gonna end. No, it won't. That's the whole point of forever. It doesn't end.
I feel sick. It doesn't have to be forever, though. What do you mean? We still have a way out, clutched in our hand.
Are you suggesting we kill ourselves? Well, that's a terrible idea. You've already saved the entire world from ruin. Why would you want to die?
Because right now, you don't want us to do that.
You're right. I don't.
But if we've already saved the world, then why does it matter if we die?
I just do. I value life.
Why?
What do you mean, why? I think it's exactly. I don't have to answer that. I'm stuck here with you. I wish I weren't.
Feelings mutual.
At least we're all being honest.
Oh, you could do a lot better than us.
Exactly. You'll be fine here. Just come up with a game or something to pass the time. Unlike you, I'm not capable of being lonely. Oh, sure you are. Give it... Again?
I don't like the way you said that.
Of course I did. Though I'd rather hoped I was the first one. Oh, you bastard. How much are you not telling us? Plenty. But it's all in your best interest. She's dead and we're stuck in a hell void forever. How could telling us your secrets possibly hurt her?
It just can. Look, this world is saved, but if you start over, for all you know, you're just putting another world in danger. You barely managed to land the killing blow here. What if you don't manage it next time?
I've already said too much, really.
More time. You remove the blade from the...
I don't like this, but I suppose there's not much I can do to stop you. As you raise the blade to your neck, and
Here we go.
you'd better get this right next time, do you hear me? Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path in the wood. Shit. Yes, so it does.
No, there has to be a way out of here. What if we do what she asked us to last time? What if we just let her leave? Okay, so you've already been here. More than once, even. Then let me remind you how catastrophic it would be if you helped her leave in any way.
Oh, threatening us with death, are we? And why should we be afraid of dying? We've already done it twice. All death has done is shunt us back to these woods, where we're forced to listen to your...
This place feels a bit different though, doesn't it? That's all the more reason to take this seriously. If the path isn't the same, it means that her influence is spreading, and the world has already started to end. Her influence? I really should have said that. It'll make your task more difficult. But now it's out, you could always take that information as a sign of... Great! You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I don't like any of our options here. It feels like we're being driven down the tracks to some awful inevitability. Maybe letting her out really is the answer. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See?
It sounds like somebody's about to crack.
There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems...
Would you look at that? We won.
Take it however you will. The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... what's strange? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all aside... What do you mean there isn't a mirror? There's a mirror, plain as day at the end of...
I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go.
If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way... Are you saying there isn't a door? Are you saying...
You didn't say door.
No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening. It's just like last time, isn't it? Only instead of a visible empty void, there's an invisible one. For all we know, she could be stabbed. Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you. You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness at the end of the... Oh, do we? Do we feel like we're being watched? I hadn't noticed. At least you're admitting to it now. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway. I hate that I know what's about. You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening. Oh, that was a close one.
Helplessly staring into the void. I'm glad I made a lasting impression.
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in your bones. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse. And you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear.
You killed me last time, and that was after you tried to lock me away forever. I was so close to freedom. So now, I'm going to take yours, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it, completely helpless.
Okay, maybe letting her in isn't the best idea. She clearly hates...
And what's your point? I thought you wanted to get out.
Yeah, but not like this. She's going to make it hurt.
Then turn off the part of you that feels things.
Oh, like it's that easy?
It is. Pain is just another sensation.
Except that pain hurts.
Yes, that's what it does.
Do we need to explain to you why pain is bad?
You need to explain to yourself.
See? That wasn't so hard. And maybe this will make it hurt a little less. Maybe.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent, her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head and crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought like this, you don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I...
Okay, deep breath. This is fine.
Is it? Is there any conceivable way that this is fine?
Yeah, I'm right. This is fine. It's better than last time. At least
It is fine. Everything is always fine. These consequences have no real impact. Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice so cramped in here, like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out. I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperate. I'd beg you to resist, but you've already surrendered your will to her.
You're the puppet master here. If this is the only way we could cut ourselves free from you...
It's a new experience. You should try being possessed some.
There's nothing wrong with fixing your mistakes. I'll remember that. But I'll also never forget what you've done.
Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive, the shattered bones of your ankle grinding ceaselessly, as if they're fragmenting, then reforming, then snapping all over again as you make your way towards the outside world. But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. If anything...
It doesn't matter how long this hallway is. I will drag this body until it is a piece of meat and feathers.
Please, just let her out.
Yes. Let me out.
It's pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we... No, screw that. The hallway gets even longer.
You can't describe me into submission. The door is right there.
It really is.
I walk to it. I place your bloody hand on the door. I make you twist it.
Isn't saying all of this his job?
He is gone.
Oh, he really is, isn't he?
I did nothing. He dealt with himself.
This is it then. Finally, we'll get to see what's really out there.
The handle clicks as we push forward. The air is bigger.
How interesting. Everything is gone. Except her.
What is happening to me?
She's gone. And there's that mirror again. He is. Does that mean the world ended? He was never going to outlast. Yeah, no voice needed. There's something. It's calling us. Ignore the cat. I'm begging you. It's different now. It feels... I don't...
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me. How can the world have ended if we are talking? You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant.
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter? Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds. There is no exit. But this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods. You make your way up the We're not going to go. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely the blade. The door to her voice
Hello?
is, don't let it. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you walk down the stairs. I am begging you.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs. Is someone else here? You try the door. Your shouts and pleas. You're here to slay the princess. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clack. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure, or we could use it to free. You won't like what happens if you do. Fine. Against your better judgment, You place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you...
Okay, there's no going back now. With you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we can't just end like this, as much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny that everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the... A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure you know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show. We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing... A warning. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy. The blade is your implement. No blade. Hope you know it'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time. The door to the basement creaks open. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of... The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the poor voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to... Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just... You need to stop lingering. You're fine. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick...
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine. I'll play along for now. What do you want?
I made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reason. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. Well, if you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove... I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all, and unfortunately you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one that lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. Maybe somebody has to go first, and it might as well be us. We're the ones who broke her trust last time. You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
That's right, you're the one who's going first. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. You step onto the stairs and begin your ascent from the basement. The princess follows close on your heels, perhaps even a little closer than you'd like. You're only saying that because you want us to feel nervous. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know that I'm right. Can we walk backwards up the stairs? I think that's the smarter idea. No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself. The princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach. Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? What did you just say? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing. The princess clawing at you and pulling you down with her full weight. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something. The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realise that you won't be getting up. Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several. You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back. We were going to help her. Why? It's what I would have done. Have you considered not being like that? Of course not. It's what keeps us alive. And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done. Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood. And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk hand in hand with a loathsome thing like you. By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the... And then you'd say something like, wow. And then you would have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. There's just one problem with that. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. And if she was in front of us, she would have gotten to the blade first. Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but really the princess's body twitches as she tries to get up. Ho ho ho! So she's got it as bad as us.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. Look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. The world could be saved after all.
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Is that really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there? What happens next? I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel...
She's gone. And is that a... It feels so bad. Like, looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. If he thinks it's bad, I'm with him. Oh, I don't like that side.
flickering lights and empty cityscapes. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed, but in this moment, all I want is to know myself. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build upon. The task of finding my vessels is your... There's nowhere for you to be but here. There is a hurt that dwells in them. The wounds they've suffered carve texture. I cannot be as I was. I await your return, but it will we will meet again.
You're on a path, you're here. That's the spirit. You make your way up. We're not going to ignore. The interior of the blade. You take the blade from the table. The daughter, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it.
Oh, are you now?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs. She's so. Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward. Your grip on the blade tightens.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate... Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic... You're on a path in the woods. That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. She will We're not going to go. Ignore. The interior of the cabin is... You take the... The door to the basement...
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to... The blade tumbles out.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt any. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at...
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free. Fine. What do you want to know? Too long.
Note the lack of detail. She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty.
Again, she offers no specific...
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge. She isn't suggesting what I think she suggests. She is. I'm
Oh? Have you decided?
You know why you're... Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and get they're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's some...
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chain.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with, "You're here to slay the prince." You try the door. I'll repeat myself once. You make your way back to the bottom of the... Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happened. against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just to be cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. As the princess approach. Wait, this is. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the prince. Stop it! Stop resisting me! The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end, you're here to slay her. A warning before you. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Just ignore this clown and The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. Good idea. Much. You walk up to the wall next to the basement. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know, but there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.